Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica lwhor, and you're back with another Jess Talk. Now, before we get into today's video, before we get into all the good tea you want to know about, make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the little bell for notifications, and make sure that you are streaming this podcast on all platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere it can be found. Today's Jess Talk is drag business, tips for new entertainers coming into the industry.
Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up and chest out right. Come on, boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round.
Tips for newer drag entertainers, and I can guarantee you this is the one that's gonna get me in trouble. I'm just gonna say this up front because I have made a video like this many years ago, and my views have changed in some ways. And I also don't normalize. I don't normally talk about things like this because people are very opinionated, and I have very different views of doing things in some ways. So here are some Jessica lwhor tips for new entertainers. First thing is, if that you are wanting to be an entertainer or a drag entertainer, stop waiting to be perfect and just jump into it. You're never going to be perfect, okay? The longer you wait, the longer you're waiting to build confidence, skills, like with any hobby. So just start doing it. Another tip that I would have for younger entertainers are don't be afraid to continuously change what your persona is. Find your lane, find your niche, find what makes you different, and embrace that, no matter how many outside forces are telling you that it's wrong, or you're not doing it right, or they don't like it, or that's not how you do drag, or whatever. Do you. If it makes you happy, constantly develop yourself and your skill sets and who you are. For new entertainers, don't grab tips. Find ways to present performances where the money is secondary to your performance. The money will be there. People will tip you. People will give you that dollar. But if your back is constantly to the entire crowd, or your performance is you walking around collecting money because you didn't go into it with a plan, I can tell you, you will find more success when you have some kind of story, whether that's dancing and movement, comedy, dark, spooky, alternative, whatever your shtick is. Find a way to present it on the stage and allow the money to be a secondary thought or built in to your story and your performance. That one's going to get me in trouble. Find the spot in the room you're performing that most showcases yourself to the most amount of people. Sometimes when they put you in the center and you're on a box and there's people around you, I hate that. Who are you supposed to perform to? You're just constantly turning and circling around, all crazy. Find a pinpoint where the most amount of people can see you. See your lips. You're lip syncing. Another tip for younger entertainers, I get shit for this one too. Find a way to stand up for yourself while also having thick skin. Choose and pick your battles on when to respond, when to clap back, when to stand up for yourself. Listening to opinions of people that care about you versus listening to opinions of people that never gave a shit about you are very different. I get a lot of shit for telling people to be thick-skinned because you're in an industry of nightlife and entertainment, and anywhere across the board, and I'd argue in any hobby or sport or anything like that, if you are not a little thick-skinned, you won't survive in the same capacity. You just won't. Another tip for new entertainers: celebrate other people. Stop trying to compete and be envious of what other people are getting. Does envy come? Does jealousy come? Absolutely. Allow that feeling to happen. Process it with your best friend or with yourself and let it die. because that feeling will eat on you and it will destroy your ability to push your career forward because you're so focused on what everybody else is doing and succeeding at rather than yourself. I'm a strong believer in the idea of do what you love and the money will follow. As a newer entertainer, and I'd even argue as an experienced entertainer, finding your value and your worth is important. And even to this day, myself, I will do benefits for free. If it means something to me, I will do $25 spots if the venue really, really wants to have me and that's all they can do, because sometimes it's about bringing that to a space. Work for free. Not all the time. Work for free, work for tip spots to a certain point. I'm not saying to always do that, but do it as it comes. Like, I did tip spots and benefit shows for the first 3 years of my drag career. There's a part of strength that comes with that and whatnot, because I do believe that do what you love and the money will follow. More times than not, when I've offered to do an event for free because of whatever reason, they end up paying me at the end of the event. Does that happen always? No. And I'm not saying you have to take every free event and every tip spot either. I'm saying find ways to dive into other spaces, because people have this perception of me that I'm too good to go into it, or I can only offer you this much. Well, just ask me. I'm willing to work with anybody on any budget, on anything like that, and benefits and stuff like that. Another tip, when you're promoting yourself online, don't be delusional to how you actually look in person. Using a filter occasionally on Snapchat or on Instagram is great, but if you're going to Photoshop the hell out of your photos and your images and stuff like that, what's the point of even posting them? We all know what you look like in person. Allow people to see your growth from your ugliest stages to your prettiest and everything in between. That's part of your resume. That's part of showcasing yourself. Another tip, you never know who is in the audience, okay? Always assume that one person has never seen what you're doing on that stage. And sometimes that one person could be a producer for another show. Sometimes that one person could be a manager at another venue. Sometimes that one person is the casting producer for a TV show. You don't know. So give your best performances to the best of your ability every time. Another tip for new performers, follow what the show producer's asking of you. If they ask for this many songs, if they ask for a certain type, if they ask you to show up on time, I get things happen too, and I'm not always the most timely. I totally get that. Communication is key. That's my next tip. Tell people what you need before they ask you what you need. If you're going to be late, tell them, hey, I'm going to be late. If you need more time to get ready, tell them. I need more time to submit music, tell them. Tell them before they have to ask you for it. You'll find you'll get more respect from that. Don't do little jabs. Oh, God, so many new entertainers think that you're just like the best of friends when you first meet out, and they're like, oh, well, your lace is ugly, or you blah, 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 little jab, little jab, little jab. I'm like, I don't have that relationship with you. It's a turnoff. Cackety, 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 boom. You can be annoying as hell as you want to be, but doing small little jabs, like shady jabs at people that you don't have that relationship with, does not make you a fiercer entertainer. It actually makes you annoying as hell. Okay, I don't even do that with my bestest, closest sisters of many, many years, and maybe on the occasion.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because you don't know how that person's receiving that, especially if you don't have that relationship. New entertainers, build opinions for yourself. People are going to have plenty of opinions on who you should talk to, who you should work with, who you shouldn't work with, and I'm not telling you to ignore what you hear from other people or other people's experiences, but allow yourself to create your own experience with everybody in this industry, okay? Allow yourself to build every interaction on your own terms and in your own way. Am I asking everybody to be best friends? No. But you hating somebody because someone's best friend's cousin's aunt's drag sister hates them doesn't help anybody. Doesn't do anything. Build your own relationships. Don't talk shit. Don't talk shit. One of my best friends says, talk shit, get hit. You don't know who's going to overhear or who's going to be bold enough to approach you and say, oh, I hear you have something to say about me. let's talk about it. And you're going to be gooped and gagged about them approaching you that way. Having an opinion is different. And if you have an opinion, you should be willing to upfront tell that person if they ask you. If that person asks, said, hey, so-and-so said this about me. Is that true? Like, yes, this is how I feel. Okay, great. Thanks for telling me. Like, don't be shady about it. Having an opinion and giving some criticism is different than being really shady and just blatantly calling someone like fat or ugly or stupid. And also sometimes the best like medicine for shit like that is success. Like your success, and people can talk all they want about you. Oh, you don't exist to me. Sorry. I have another tip. I have so many tips I could keep going on about, but my last thing that I could say on this note, and I could keep going and going and going on new tips, you need to be kind to yourself as a new entertainer. Mentally, physically, emotionally, kind to yourself. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some understanding to fuck up and learn things. Do not beat yourself up. Don't beat your body up. You cannot survive in drag if you are not mind, body, and soul together. Take moments for yourself like that. I wish I would have done that so much earlier in my drag career. All right, everyone. That was today's Jess Talk. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And make sure that if you have any suggestions for Jess Talks, that you are commenting them down below or writing in. Otherwise, that was all your tips and tricks from Miss Jessica lwhor. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention.